Which team with a new head honcho in charge do you want to address?
I'm going to go with the Cleveland Browns, Kay. I feel like we talk a lot about the Cleveland Browns in esoteric terms and looking at the stars, but they at some point have to actually take the field and win actual football games and win quarter by quarter by quarter. And they've got some things to do before they can just go out there and win an AFC North title. I look at this team and I say the first thing that the Browns have to do is roll with Freddie. And what I mean by roll with Freddie, I mean their head coach, Freddie Kitchens, because there's going to be some bumps here. This is a first-time NFL head coach. And, guys, it wasn't like he's been groomed in the college game or he's been an OC for 20 years.
True.
He was the QB coach in Arizona with Bruce Arians and Carson Palmer, who might not have even needed a quarterback's coach. He was the running backs coach in Arizona the year David Johnson had his big season. And last year was a running backs coach who was eventually elevated when two other men were fired from head coach OC. This year, he gets the job. But, guys, there's not a long resume of Freddie coaching the head coach because he hasn't had that opportunity. So you got all these personalities. I'm asking the Browns players to maybe be a little patient here because there will be bumps and bruises. This is the guy. You don't want to fire him midway through the season. You don't want to start questioning your coach. It only works if you're all in on your coach. So for the Browns, whether they love him or whether they realize early in the season maybe this is too much or whether he really is the real deal, whatever it is, you got to roll with your coach.
Really good advice.
Roll with Freddie. Number two, don't believe the hype. There's a lot. Don't believe it. You haven't done anything yet. I hate to be rude.
He broke a record.
Broke a touchdown record for a 7-8-1 team that didn't finish at the top of their division and had a shot at the end of the year and lost to the Ravens in that game in Week 17. Look, I really think this team is loaded. They really are. The roster is great. They did a great job. Sashi Brown laid the groundwork. John Dorsey and his crew hit home runs. Don't believe the hype. Nate, I know you've been a big hype man for the team. Kay, you've said Baker could be an MVP candidate. All that stuff is true, and all that stuff is well-deserved. But if you're a Browns player in the Browns organization, you need to block that out. You can't believe it. You haven't done squat yet, Browns.
I hear you.
Until you get on the field, none of that matters. And the last one, how about a little chip on the shoulder? How about proving a bunch of ex-employers wrong? One of the cool things about this Browns team is that they are made of a bunch of guys who were shown the door by other teams. Steve Wilkes was fired after 1 year as the head coach of the Arizona Cardinals. He's their defensive coordinator. Todd Monken had one of the top 3 offenses in the league in Tampa, was shown the door last year. Jarvis Landry was traded by the Miami Dolphins despite breaking records in his first couple of seasons. Odell Beckham was traded by the New York Giants despite breaking records his few seasons. And Olivier Vernon was traded after signing one of the greatest contracts ever in free agent history by the New York Giants. Prove those ex-employers wrong. You guys are still very good at what you do. Respectively, you're all some of the best in the league.
That's strong.
You were shown the door by your ex-employer saying, we are better off without you.
New team, who dis?
Internalize that, unionize around that, galvanize around that. We've all been talked to by ex-employers in a way you don't like. All of those guys need to find a way to come together and use that as motivation.
Peter, this is my favorite to-do list we've done so far.
That was good,
I never considered having the conscious mindset of maybe if you don't agree with the coach and you have it in your head, what does he know? He hasn't done this. You still have to buy in or it's going to fall apart completely.
That's
All
good.
in.
That's good.
I love it. I'm going to talk, and I have another list and sort of take a different approach than you, but it's a different team with a different identity and a different fan base.